Alright, I know it's been a few days, but working nights and whatnot make it a little bit more difficult. But I'm cutting some grass. I'm still doing this on my phone. I haven't found a camera I really like. But since I'm here, I figured I'd talk about the M6060, since that's what tractor I'm using, and I haven't found a good review on it. I have a little over 87 hours on it, and I have the cab version. If you can't tell, I got the radio, AC, whole 9 yards. Great tractor. I love it. It has plenty of power. My biggest thing is with horses is we have to be able to move hay around, and we feed round bales, so we got to be able to move round bales around. So this thing has absolutely no problem moving hay around, with or without something on the back of it. Without anything on the back of it, with no ballast at all, I don't have tires filled, nothing like that. It does get a little hairy sometimes if you stop real quick, or if you hit a big hole, you kind of feel it a little bit. But other than that, no problem. I got the Land Pride mower with it. It does great. It does like a finish mower. I have absolutely no issues with it. Well, I say that a couple days ago I was doing another mowing job, and this is like some friends we've had for a while, and I thought their place was clean and everything, but I found a piece of barbed wire, maybe 30 feet long or so. Got wrapped up around the blades a little bit, and I've got the chains on the front and back, and well, down here by my feet I've got a bunch of chains. It has a little metal bar that just goes through there that holds all the chains in. Well, it ended up pulling the bar halfway out, and half my chains fell out. Well, I didn't realize that until after I got the barbed wire out, because I went to where there was shorter grass to do it, and that's whenever I noticed that I was missing half the chains. So I had to go back over there, pick them up, and I didn't have time at that moment to just put them back, because I drove the tractor over there and set a trailer in it, because they're not that far away, which that was a bumpy ride. But the M6060, I have absolutely no regrets buying it. But there is one thing. Right now I'm mowing, and this field for the most part kind of rough in spots, but if I'm going faster, if I hit a bump, the camera's going to be all over the place. So I've been trying to decide, if doing the camera thing, I can't go in fourth gear. I can't, because I have the 8-speed transmission, 4 forward and 4 backwards, 4-wheel drive, front end loader, like everything that comes on the tractor, and it's the Ultra Grand Cab. But I'd really like to be able to mow in like a 5th gear, which this tractor does not have 5th gear, because it's only 1 through 4, and that's it. There's no 5th. But 4 is, I can cut grass in 4, no problem. Just like right here, it's really bumpy. So right there, 4, I'd have to kind of clutch in a little bit and slow down. But with like right here for this long straightaway, I could go in like a 5th gear. But I don't have 5th gear. 4th gear is good enough. It's about 4.5, 4.2 something miles an hour. And it gets the job done fairly quickly. But I really sometimes wish I would have had, a little bit more in the low gears. But I don't regret it. And sometimes it's also the same going in, something slower that needs like a little bit more attention. Not necessarily more pulling power, because this thing has tons of power. Just something that has a little bit slower, or if you're doing something a little bit smaller, like backing up to implements, it's kind of a pain, because with this tractor, implements are heavy. Like, they are very heavy. You're not going to be able to just go and kick it a little bit and get it lined up. You're going to have to go move the tractor again and stuff like that. It does have the, I don't know what the option's called, but like the deluxe 3-point hitch to where they extend out. Got the little tab on it. I'll have to do, I think it'd probably be best if I did this whenever I'm not driving it. But I think I'll just talk about it in this one, and then I'll do like a walk around in another video. But I mean, I enjoy the tractor. Like right now I'm mowing these other people's place right now. These are actually my first customers that I've had since I did tractor work. And I come out here, cut the grass, and no problem. But they are also my most reliable customers. But they don't drive by nearly as often as me and my wife. So whenever we see it's time to cut, just send them a text message or something. Say, hey, you know, grass is getting a little tall, need to cut it. Got rain coming in, because it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow or something. I know it's going to rain tomorrow, which that kind of really makes for a bad 4th of July. But, you know, it is what it is. There's one wet spot right here. I got to slow down and put it in 4-wheel drive. Alright. The first couple times I had to go around this spot. First couple times I cut this field, I had to go around it because it was really wet. But I really don't like doing that because it's way out here in the back and it just makes it look really weird when you do that. And the 4-wheel drive, you can disengage while you're driving, and it has like it says like a cruise control setting, which all it really does is try to hold the RPMs. The only time I ever use it is mowing. I don't really have any other 3-point driven or PTO driven devices, but for me, mowing, it'll help hold the mower speed at whatever you set it at. There's a little display on the dash. It'll tell you your RPMs on the PTO, which really makes it really convenient for, well, I do have a 3-point spreader, so that it kind of helps, you know, figure out what your PTO speed is instead of just going off RPMs and stuff like that. Because for that spreader, I run it at like an idle, and I don't really need to do anything more than that because it throws fertilizer pretty far at an idle. But the mower, even if I'm mowing stuff that's fairly thin, I normally run it at about 500 minimum. Some people say that they run it lower than that. I don't, because it seems that you get a way better cut running it at 500. So, but I'll have to do another video, like a walk around on the tractor, greasing it. It uses a lot of grease, and there's a lot of grease there, especially if you have a front end loader. The first couple times I actually didn't find all of them, and whenever I was reading through the manual, because I'm just kind of weird and just read all that kind of stuff for fun, and I'm like, oh man, there's 2 of them over there. So next time I came out, greased them. They still had grease in them, because that was whenever we bought the tractor. It had 20 hours on it, I believe. I think it was just like a one at the store that people drove around, or someone left the key on for a while. But I mean, it still has the plastic on the seat, which I'm leaving it on there because, I don't know, I'm weird. But I have no regrets buying it. I wish I could get a little bit more tractor work, make it a little bit easier to pay for it. But I like it. I like it a lot. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and end this one, and maybe tomorrow, if it's not raining, I might do another video on it, but that might come in a little while. If you got any questions or anything, leave some comments down below. If you want to subscribe I can't talk. Subscribe to the channel. I do all kinds of stuff that I foresee in the future, because I do tractor work like I'm doing now. We have horses, we got cows, lambs, sheep, goats. I got some fish, got parakeets. We got all kinds of stuff. I want to do some updates to my Duramax I have. I have the LB7. I'm thinking about kind of fixing it up a little bit, you know, making it a little bit better of a truck. Which that truck primarily pulls the tractor around, and I drive it back and forth to work. It's a great truck, and you know, it has some minor stuff, but nothing major. I'm going to close out the video, so if you got any questions or comments, just leave them down below.